Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, and I am your friendly tarot reader for today. The way that this channel works is all my donation information can be found at the top of the chat, also throughout the chat itself, and in the information of the video. Today I am using one of the few traditional RWS decks that I have. I always use RWS decks, but they're usually of different styles, different artists. This is a very traditional RWS deck, but it is holographic. I like things to sparkle and shimmer. So this is very traditional today, with the exception of some holographic goodness. So I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I cannot answer those, but other than that, I can answer really any of your questions that you have. I answer a lot of romance questions, a lot of questions pertaining to career, finance, spiritual questions, you name it, I can answer it. I have 3 regular menu options. First is a mini reading, which consists of 1 question, 5 cards, and that is $7.77 if you donate via Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $9.99. If you are interested in a full reading that consists of 10 cards, it can be 1 question or it can be split into 2 5-card readings. That is $14.14 unless you use SuperChat, in which it is $20.20. And then I have my in-depth reading, which consists of 15 cards, and that can be, again, 1 question, go deep, or it can be split into 2 questions, 1 10-card reading, 1 5-card reading, or 3 questions, 3 5-card readings, and that is $21.21 or $29.29 if you decide to use SuperChat. And then I have some other menu options for your reading questioning pleasure. I am also a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. The person who you are trying to contact's name, their date of passing, their date of birth, their relation to you. It's extremely helpful if you can send me a photograph of them, but it's not mandatory. It does really help. But I do request that, and it's always an honor for me to read for you in any context, but especially in mediumship readings. I also offer, I mentioned earlier that I answer a lot of questions that are matters related to matters of the heart. And one of those questions that I suggest is my soulmate confirmation reading. If there is someone who is currently in your life, like who you're in a relationship with, and things are feeling good or possibly questionable, and you're wondering if this is going to go far, if you're wondering if this is a soulmate of yours, if they're meant to be, the question can be asked in 1 of 2 different ways. The first way that I ask it, the most traditional way that I ask it, is just directly. I simply ask your angels, messengers, and your spirit guides if the person in question is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they will explain why. If the answer is no, they will explain why not. And we have many different soulmates, and they come in many different shapes and sizes. They are not just romantic. They can also be friends, family members, neighbors, coworkers, pets. But if you are asking in a romantic context, I highly recommend that. Alternatively, we can also ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if they give their blessing towards this connection between you and the person in question, which kind of answers the same question. If they give their blessing, it almost always guarantees that they are indeed a soulmate of yours. It is, I don't want to say difficult to get Spirit's blessing towards someone in your life, but it happens less frequently than often. So when you do get Spirit's blessing towards a person in your life, that means something. That is something definitely to be taken with with deep seriousness and consideration. Also, in regards to romance readings, at no additional donation amount, I offer my love spread. I developed this spread 5 years ago. A lot of my clients refer to it as the OG love reading. I call it the TFI reading. It answers 3 questions in one, and it can be done with a mini, a full, or an expanded reading. It answers what their thoughts are towards you, their feelings, their current intentions, their current energies in the connection, and your current energies in the connection. So it's a very in-depth reading. Again, it's at no additional donation amount, so I highly recommend it for romance questions. But I also recommend it for, I've done the TFI reading for people's coworkers, bosses, friends, family members, you name it. I've done the TFI reading for them. And it's very thorough and very comprehensive. I also, speaking of soulmates, I also offer past life regression therapy readings. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was able to read. So pretty much my whole life, or most of it. It is a very, very healing therapeutic modality, and we can ask Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours with any intent. It doesn't have to be just for the intent of what past life of mine would be most helpful for me to hear in regards to my current life right now and the potential challenges that I'm facing. You can also ask with the intent of, what was my favorite past life? What was the past life that was the least fortunate of mine? What was the past life that was the most fortunate? Describe a past life in which I was connected with one of my soulmates, and so it's always fascinating, and gives a very in-depth reading into analyzing your soul's tapestry, overall tapestry. And speaking of souls and soulmates and past lives, especially depending on how old of a soul you are, we have many different past lives, and each one is extremely unique. We can sometimes be different genders in those past lives. Often, we're almost always different genders in past lives. We experience life as men and women, and sometimes in between. We experience, poverty. We experience abundance. We experience all sorts of things. Sometimes there's patterns. Sometimes there's not. But it's always fascinating to explore. I highly recommend that. The past life regression reading. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. I offer them by appointment, only scheduled. You can schedule that via email with me or over private messages on my Instagram, which you should go follow. And that is just me and you, one-on-one, over Zoom, and you can give me all of the context and backstory that you need. We can answer as many questions as is necessary. There's, within the time frame that you have booked. And if you need to have it extended, we can usually do that if time is allotted for both of us. But there's no limit to the number of questions we can answer. There's no limit to the number of cards I can pull for you. It is just me and you, one-on-one. And then alternatively, I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount, and those are also done for readings for matters of both convenience and discretion. If something is confidential or you just don't want it shared on a public live stream, and you need me to answer a question you don't see me on, send me your donation with your question. I can get back to you usually within a matter of 2 to 3 hours. The very latest in a 24-hour turnaround, but never later than then. And we just received our first donation. Thank you so much, Wendy. Hey, girl, hey. Hope you are doing well. Let me go ahead and add you here. Hey, girl, it's going well. It's going well. I went to a concert on Tuesday night, and then I thought I had work yesterday morning, but I didn't. Not my fault. The coordinator got it messed up, so I was a little peeved because I had to get up early after being out late. So yesterday I just caught up on sleep, and yeah, just yesterday, I'm going to be honest, yesterday was a bed rot day. I needed to sleep so badly. Yeah, the concert was great. Oh my god, I love Amy Mann. She's incredible, and it was at like my favorite place to see music in San Francisco. I don't know if you've ever been to the Fillmore, but it's amazing. And for a while, they stopped offering a tradition of theirs, because the Fillmore has been around since the 60s, and they have a tradition of always having a beautiful poster at the end of the show. And this was the poster. They stopped making them for about 10 years. I've been to the Fillmore countless times, and like the last show I went to, they had a poster. I have a whole collection of these, but from like 2010 to about 2017, they stopped making them for budget cuts. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of them from like 2000, since I started going to concerts. Basically, I have like from 2004. I've seen Smashing Pumpkins, Hope Sandoval, The Breeders, Yo La Tengo, Beach House twice, The Walkmen. I keep on remembering new shows. The Jesus and Mary Chain, the Dandy Warhols, Brian Jonestown Massacre. And I remember them all because I have so many posters from them, but there were a few concerts that I forgot because I didn't have posters. But and it's such a beautiful poster. Oh my goodness! Shut up, girl. You're obsessed with Beach House? You've never met anyone who's obsessed with Beach House as me, girl. I discovered them. I mean, of course, not me discovering them. I saw them I discovered them their first album. I fell in love with it. It was before Teen Dreams, before they got big. I saw them for $8 at Bottom of the Hill, and I've met Victoria several times. I have a picture of me and her. I met her. I saw them on the East Coast. I've seen them at least 15 times. It's crazy, girl. Every time they've been here, and then I went to see them in LA. I went to see them in Carmel. I went to see them in Connecticut. I went to see them in Boston. Girl, I was obsessed. I was crazy. Girl, I was in my 20s. I was crazy obsessed. And Victoria's the sweetest lady in the world. She's so cool. And when I met her, I met her a few times. But when I got the selfie with her, I'm not joking you, girl. Like, I swear on my mother's life, I swear on my life, I walked up to her scared off my ass because I was such a fangirl. And she is so dreamy. She's so beautiful. She's so cool. She's so funny. And I walked up to her scared as hell. She was just chilling. She was just chilling there talking to the fans. I was like, hey, I love you. I'm really a big fan. Can my friend just take a picture of you and me really quickly? And she was like, oh yeah, totally. She was like, by the way, you look really familiar. I'm not even kidding you. That's like, is that not the best thing to ever hear from your idol? By the way, you look really familiar. And I was like, yeah, I saw you 3 times last week on the East Coast. She's like, oh my God, yeah, I do recognize you. I was like, yeah, Vassar, Harvard, Wesleyan, yeah, I saw you. But she saw me. I know. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that she recognized me. Yeah. And apparently that's I mean, granted, I had seen them like 5 times, and I was always in the front, and I would always ask for the set list, like walk up to them, because they weren't that big at the time. They were just about to blow up. It was right when Teen Dream started. But yeah, I saw them like for basically I've seen them for every single one of their albums. They're my favorite band of all time. I just think they're like, from the first time I heard their album, I remember my mom was like, don't go to the show. I was sick, that $8 show. And I was like, no, I have to go, Mom. Like, I know, like, that show's going to make history. Like, at least in my life. Such a fangirl. I know, it felt so special. And thank you, we just received a donation from Brian. Thank you so much, my friend. Let me go ahead and add you here. So yeah, that's my little beach house story. I've been thinking about them a lot and listening to them a lot because I've just been thinking about the concerts I've been to, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen Beach House more than any other band in the world, and they're humble, they're good. Like I haven't met I've talked to Alex twice, and I've briefly talked to Victoria maybe like 5 times, and she's just the humblest lady. She's so sweet, she's so funny, she's got a really dry sense of humor, and isn't afraid. She's Gemini, She talks a lot during her shows. She probably talked. We saw them at the Hollywood Bowl. Oh my God, that's so cool. Last time I saw them was in 2021 after 2022 after they released their last album, Once Twice Melody. I saw them at the Greek Theater in Berkeley, and I went with my friend and we shimmied to the very, very front. Oh my God! And it was so beautiful that night. Greek Theater's open, and it was just a beautiful starry night, and it was like right when April, or it was like the end of March, beginning of April, so like spring was starting. Oh, it was fantastic. Anyway, sorry to go on the. You've been to the Greek Theater, yeah. It's amazing. I mean, at Berkeley, we love Berkeley. Like, but yeah, it's such a great. I've seen Belle and Sebastian there. Saw The Cure there. But the best show I ever went to was Beach House. That was so good. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, sorry about all that. But yeah, I've just been listening to them and thinking about them a lot. It's so funny. Anyway, how can I help you, my darling? Let me get a swig of my coconut water because I've just talked a million miles an hour. Oh, by the way, I'll mention that offline. I saw Belle and Sebastian. Oh, you saw Belle and Sebastian too? Wait, at the Greek Theater? Wait, was this in like 2003? No, 2000. It was after I graduated. It was 2004. Was that the show? Girl, you me both. That's crazy. And Rasputina was their cellist, or no, Melora Krieger from Rasputina was their cellist. I remember. Oh no, it was like 3 years ago. Oh no, this was hella days ago. I had just gotten out of high school. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'd just gotten out of high school, and I was supposed to go with this guy from my high school, who was like a popular guy, and then he went like indie after high school and like had a little crush on me, and was like, yeah, I'll meet you at Belle and Sebastian. Never met me there, so I was alone. But it was a great show. It was awesome. Love Belle and Sebastian and Camera Obscura. I saw Camera Obscura at Fillmore. That's another place I've seen it. Oh, that's so funny. I gotta go through like like just Fillmore's history and be like, oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, no, I'm a concert girl. I used to be much more of a concert girly. Yeah, Camera Obscura. They're basically like the girl version. I hate to put it that way. No, they're not the girl version of Belle and Sebastian, but they're also Scottish, and I just love them so much. Um, James, I think, is my favorite song. Oh, James. Yeah, it's such a pretty song. I could talk about it all day. That's so funny. We're old music sisters here. I had no idea. Well, stands to reason. Same generation a little bit. Same vibes. Yeah. No, and Amy Mann was just great. I'd never seen her before, and who knows when she'll tour again, with the older artists. My question is will I be able to find a dinner date for my reservation in Portugal? Yes, we're still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about that. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. I don't think it will be hard for you to find a dinner date. And was it changed to your name? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Wendy be able to find a dinner date for her reservation in Portugal? No, he's out of office. I feel like he's been dragging his feet. He's out of office? That's very unlike him, huh? Let's see. Ace of Wands reversed. King of Pentacles reversed. The World reversed. Page of Swords reversed. And the Magician reversed. What the heck? It's not even the fact that they're all reversals, girl. I feel like he's been dragging his feet. Yeah, I do too. And it's not even the fact that they're all reversals, girl. Okay, as I was telling someone earlier, the future is unwritten. I am a tarot reader, but I'm not a fortune teller. As the current energies stand right now, yeah, starting with the first card, Ace of Wands, is no. That's the thumbs down card in my world. Page of Swords reversed. But here's the deal, girl. Here's the deal. As it stands right now, the answer is no. Because have you been looking? You likely haven't been looking for a dinner date, have you? Because that's kind of hard, right? You got to kind of be there, and you haven't searched. Page of Swords reverse. You haven't searched. You haven't implemented all of your resources. Resources being your charm, your good grace, your smarts, you know, all the reasons why someone would want to have dinner with you. Not yet. I want to wait till I'm closer to the date. Exactly. You want to wait till you're closer to your destination. I think that's what I was like. What's this world reverse card? Because the world, when we're talking about travel, we have to take this quite literally. This isn't about actually, we can take this both literally in the way that I take it. Not yet. If this was upright, I'd say there's no way. But because it's reversed, it's saying you haven't searched that part of the world yet. So this, as it stands, and I'm assuming you're looking for a male date. I could be wrong, but that would be nice. So as it stands right now, the King of Pentacles, who you're looking for ideally to go on that date with, you have not met, and you have not searched for. So until you start the search, until you put yourself out there and start searching and get closer to the date and closer to the location, the possibility is absolutely there. I knew that from the start. You can totally find a date. You're a beautiful young lady. Literally, it's as simple as walking into the middle of the street and saying, "Hey, who wants to go to this luxury restaurant with me?" But you want to go with someone who means something to you. I understand that. It's just like complaining about not being able to find a guy. Any woman can usually walk into the street and be like, "Hey, who wants to go on a date?" You can find someone, right? But that's not what we do. We want someone who we want to go. Yeah, I need someone to replace Samuel because it's under his name. I wanted to just go to a meetup and ask someone there. And that's likely the case, love. This Page of Swords reverse, that's likely the case. Is that you just haven't started the search yet. But once you have, you are the magician. You can absolutely make it happen. It's something you can make happen because you have what it takes. You have everything that someone would want in a dinner date. But yeah, you want to go with the right guy. You don't want to go with just anyone or the right person. I go based off of vibes. It's just dinner. Yeah, exactly. Just and I have no doubt you'll find someone. It's just about. And I also don't think Spirit is suggesting that you start looking now. I think it's best that you start looking when you get there, because it's hard to read vibes from across the world. I just need someone to pass on as a Samuel. yeah. Be like, okay, just pretend your name's Samuel for tonight. I know that's weird, but I hear you. Yeah, you'll find someone. There's no reason why you would not, love. And thank you again. Thank you so much, and you're very welcome. Brian, thank you for your donation, my friend. Good to see you. How are you doing? And I think you posted your question. Me, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and my dad all got together and had the jam session last night. What's next for us? Well, that's exciting, Brian. I'll tell Samuel to give me his number just in case. Yes, because they'll likely need that. Yeah. That's so. I'm sure you'll find it. But it's funny, but it's like it's charming too. You're gonna you'll it's again, Samuel's missing out, and you're creatively finding a much better alternative here. You're doing good. Good to hear. Yeah, it sounds like things are good. I'm happy. I'm happy you guys met up last night. That's great. Just give me one sec. It's so annoying that I have to rely on him. Yeah, I understand. I understand. That's a bummer. All right, Brian. So what is next for you and your band after the jam sesh? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and the rest of the jam crew after last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and the rest of the jam crew from last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and the rest of his jam crew after last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and the rest of his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and the rest of his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is next for Brian and his jam crew after their session last night? All right, Brian, let's see. We have 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands reversed, the King of Cups reversed, Ace of Wands reversed, and 2 of Cups reversed. So the session went well last night, right, Brian? It sounds like it did. The energy that I'm getting is that the session went well. So the first card I'm loving. The first card makes a lot of sense. Collaboration, collaborative working well collaboratively as a team, and you guys all got together and were able to make it happen last night. It went well. Yeah, I got that sense. Yeah, you guys were able to make it happen last night. And in terms of what's next for you, I do see, this is not the last jam session. I do see another one on the horizon. You guys made it happen already. You guys are going to be able to make it happen again. Sorry, I was like, did I just freeze there? I do want some clarification with some of these cards, though, because there is some back and forth energy here that I'm just needing a little more clarity on. Starting with this 9 of Wands reversed. So I do see, and I'm seeing that, I'm seeing an imbalance. And I don't know if you picked up a little bit on this last night, or if I'm just, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but did you pick up on a sense that while it was productive and collaborative and you guys all made it happen despite your busy lives and differing schedules, I feel like more of you were on board than some. And I think that's just kind of normal with any situation, just like a classroom or a work environment. Some people are going to be putting more energy in and more effort in than others. And that's what I'm seeing with the 9 of Cups reversed, as well as this King of Cups reversed. I feel like, so how many of it was you? How many of you were there again? Let's double check. It was you and Jeremy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 of you were together last night. I feel like there was a small contingency. I feel like 3 of you were putting in more effort. Actually, going with this 2 of Cups, I'd say 2 of you were putting in. Yeah, 3 of you were putting in more effort than 2 were, because this is in its reverse form. I feel like there were 2 folks, and you might know this better than me, but I feel like there were 2 of you out of the 5 of you that were not putting as much effort in. I'm guessing you and your dad were one of the 3. This is very important to you. This is very important to your father. This is very important to all 5 of you, but there is an imbalance. There is an imbalance with this Knight of Wands reversed and King of Cups reversed. I do feel like there's 2 people who are not quite as forward thinking as the other 3 of you. And I'm not. The Ace of Wands came up in the card in the reading I did earlier. Ace of Wands. When we're asking a yes or no question, is usually a no. But again, the future is unwritten, and this was not a yes or no question. This was, what is the future looking like for the 2 of you? For the 5 of you. Ace of Wands reversed. Creative blocks, delays, lack of passion, lack of energy. The reversed Ace of Wands can indicate trials and tribulations that you will face in the near future. Yeah, a lack of feeling uncreative, feeling a lack of progress. So the Ace of Wands reversed can also indicate delays with your current projects. You want to finish your tasks, but there are things that get in your way. I wouldn't call them things, I'd call them people. I feel like there's 2 folks who just aren't on board as much as the other 3 of you. And that's not to say, again, I do think that you guys are going to meet up again. I do think that you guys are going to have a jam sesh again. In terms of where it's going to go, I don't know if you guys have performed live before. If that's on the horizon for you guys. I was just talking about live music a moment ago. Went to a show on Tuesday night. So I don't know how far this is going to go in terms of the overall scope of your guys' musical connection, band, jam group. Again, I see you guys having a session again, if not more than one. The only issue I see is that there is an imbalance. There is an imbalance in terms of the enthusiasm that some of you have, as opposed to a lack of enthusiasm that I feel it's 2 people, that 2 of Cups reversed. At first glance, I thought it was possible artistic differences, creative differences, but I don't think that's the case. I feel like there's 2 folks who suffer from a lack of motivation that is as strong as yours, and 2 other folks and a lack of enthusiasm and energy that you for sure have. You've organized this from the ground up. This is your passion project, so it's something you're extremely passionate about. As are, I believe, the majority of the group. Will this project be successful down the line? I'm more than happy to answer that. But I need a little bit of clarity. What is your idea of success in regards to this band, this project? Because success can mean things for many different people. As I mentioned, I don't know if you're looking to start touring, to get in the studio. I don't know what your idea of success is. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Recording original music and going out playing shows, for sure. That's the goal. That's the goal. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Brian's musical project be successful down the line? Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords reversed, the Lovers, the World, and Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay, all right. Getting some clarity here. Yeah, your creative passion for this project is really, really admirable. I don't even know if that's the right word. I can't tell you how many artists I'm friends with and have as clients who have creative blockages, who know they want to do something artistically but don't know which direction to go. You have such a clear effing vision, dude. That's that Leo in you. That's that Leo in you. Your sense of artistic ambition is reminding me of a Leo who I know very, very well. You know what you want to create. You know who you want to create it with. You know how you want to create it, and you are doing whatever you can to get this to happen. And you are this Knight of Wands. You are definitely this Knight of Wands. In terms of recording, in terms of touring, I do see you performing live. I do see you performing live. With this World card here, this is the world listening to you. Of course, when I mean that, I don't mean like the entire world. I would love to hear your music. And if I lived closer to you, I'd of course support your music and go out and see your shows. Like, no doubt. And the world is definitely exposure, people listening to you. The Lovers is harmony. And when we're talking about music, let's get literal here. You're creating harmony. I believe you do like more like metal type stuff. But any kind of music is harmonious, even like math rock. It might not be to certain people, but I've been to. I forget. You make metal, right? I've seen Dying Fetus. I've seen Morbid Angel. I've seen like death and black metal bands because my first boyfriend was really into that when I was in high school, and I just couldn't jive with it. But seeing people there and how deeply it affected them in almost like a trance-like state, it's kind of like I'm really into shoegaze music. And I've seen My Bloody Valentine a couple of times, and there's this sound. There's at the end of all their well, they don't perform anymore, but at the end of their show, they would do something called the Holocaust sound, which was 30 minutes of just the lead singer of My Bloody Valentine had a method of creating just like this deeply resonant, powerful noise. That they literally like required, the city of San Francisco required all of us to wear earplugs at the show. And when I saw them at Coachella, same deal. When the night they played, they were like, "This is for My Bloody Valentine." Like, it was an actual city ordinance for all of their shows because it was like, it literally will cause like ear damage if you don't wear them. But it resonates throughout your body, and like I remember feeling it in my skeleton, and I was looking around me I was in a deeply trance-like state, and everybody around me was too. Now, a lot of people would not consider that harmonious, you know what I mean? But for us, it was, you know, that wall of noise, that like slow dive or something like that. I don't know if you're into shoegaze, but like that, just it's not cacophonous. It's it's resonant, literally, like resonates in your body. So I do see you guys touring. What I don't see happening is it's possible you guys could record an album, but the problem with recording albums, as you know, is people don't buy music anymore. You know, I've been friends with too many bands. I've been in a band myself. And that's why, you know, I'm pointing at my poster I got from the film, where that's why I'm guessing that's why like older artists still tour now. Like Amy Mann, she's been, you know, a musician since the 80s. She's been popular, and she's still touring now in her 60s. Bands need to tour, you know, and it's because people, that's how they make their money, is through, and that's what I'm getting to with this Nine of Pentacles reverse. Now, you never mentioned anything about making money from this band, and that is what I'm saying, is that it could be difficult to make money from this band, which is just the case in being an artist of any type in this day and age. Even if you're someone like Amy Mann, you're still torn. Because people just don't buy records anymore. People don't pay for music. That's why I go to live shows, to support artists. That's how they make their music. As I was telling Wendy, I've seen Beach House for every effing, because I love them, but also because, and I buy. That's a lie. I do buy music. I buy LPs for bands I really like. But most of the time, I am not. I'm a starving artist myself. You know, and so I listen to music for free on YouTube, and I love how YouTube adds tour dates for artists, even the smallest ones, because it's just like, oh damn, I can support them, you know. Guilty as charged. I don't pay for music all the time. I do sometimes, now that I think about it, but it's hard. Honestly, like, it's easier because I don't have Spotify. I just use YouTube, so it's hard to pay for. Not hard, but it would be more difficult for me to pay for music and integrate it into my just like ease of technology. So I do see you guys touring. I definitely see the possibility of you guys recording. And again, you know, people do buy music at shows, at the merch table. You know, definitely, you know, I would suggest creating merch. That's definitely profitable. I'd say possibly more profitable than making albums, or than printing albums, but is also necessary. But also, I think the cool thing about albums is, you know, you can make like cassettes for the band. You can make LPs for the band. You know, that's a little more expensive, but yeah, like I have like I have cassettes for bands. I have LPs. And this Ace of Swords reversed, yeah, it's like I do want to get some clarity on this. Yeah, I think I don't want to say it's just the name of the game with being in a band, but there are going to be some creative differences. Not so much creative differences, but again, just differences in the effort that people, imbalances in the effort that certain people are putting into this project than you and two others. You're definitely at the helm here. You're definitely the one who's like directing things here. This is your baby. This is your passion project. And so I do see progress with your band. That's something I can't deny. I do see progress, and I see success and the way that you see it. Sorry, I'm just fixing this a little bit here. Let me here. Okay, there we go. All right, and thank you so much, Brian. Will we be able to stay together as a group? Now, that's another one where I need some clarity. Bands always come to an end, sadly. Even my favorite bands in the world are all going to come to an end at some point. Sometimes they get back together. Sometimes it's just like, this is the end. We're done. So when you say, will you be able to stay together as a group, how long do you mean? Like, do you mean, like, will you be able to stay together for, like, I think the best way to ask this question, Brian, is to give me a timeline. Do you want to know if you guys are going to be able to stay together for a year, 5 years, 10 years down the line? Like, what are you hoping for here? And again, you know, the fate does exist, but the future is largely unwritten. Sorry, I forgot to ring my bell. I just want to know how long this will survive. Well, tarot can't answer an actual time frame, but it can give a yes or no to a time frame. Does that make sense? Like, the cards can't answer 5 years. There's no card that can answer that. Some tarot readers can claim to read time frames mathematically. It's not that I don't believe them, but at least I can't. Maybe they can. But so the way that I do time frames is you give me a time frame, like 5 years, 1 year, and the answer will be yes or no. We can even do it. We can even do a drop, a throwdown. We can do, are you going to be together for a year, 5 years, 10 years? You know, I just want to. I formed this with a group of some of my best friends in the world. Yes, I understand, Brian, and not only that, but this is also just a very, very important project for you. 3 years. I think that's a really good place to start. If a band can stay together for 3 years, it's a good lockdown. That's usually good promise for more years to come. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's musical project last for at least 3 years? Knight of Swords reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, 3 of Wands reversed, 7 of Pentacles reversed, and Page of Pentacles reversed. Doesn't look good, Brian. I know these are your best friends, and I know that this is such an important project to you. My concern is that it's you have so much strength and so much fervor and so much passion for this that it's almost I don't want to say it's impossible for you to find a group of people who are as passionate as you are. But there's 2 things here. It can be hard being in a band with people who you already have an emotional connection with. I don't want to call myself a groupie, but I was very good friends with a local band in my early 20s that ended up opening for The Cure years later. Like they didn't make it, but they went a decent amount. They didn't tour too much. They toured locally all the time. Like I said, they opened for The Cure in San Francisco. They recorded one album, but a lot of them were childhood friends. And dude, like, I don't know about you, but they would get into like serious arguments, and it was never about the music. It was always about some girl or some. Well, sometimes it was about the music, but people were just on different pages. And when there's emotion, and that's what I'm seeing here with this Ace of Cups reversed. You mentioned that they're all your best friends. There's emotional attachments here as well. And I'll be honest, like when I think of some of the best bands I know, okay, minus like the Breeders, okay, they're twin sisters. Yola Tango, they're married. Sonic Youth, Kim Gordon and Thornton and Thurston Moore were married, but a lot like Beach House, they're not together. They met randomly, and it just was magic. But they weren't like friends before. They just knew that they had a very similar music in depth, like passion and like idea. I think they were introduced by mutual friends actually. Solo artists often, like Amy Mann, left till Tuesday. She had her artistic differences. It can really be hard to work with a group of people. It's like a marriage. I've heard bands, Smashing Pumpkins said that. They were like, it's like being married to 4 people who you're not married to. You spend all your time with them, you work with them. And yeah, if you're not friends with them, Smashing Pumpkins, they were not friends. Like, Billy Corgan met Darcy through an argument outside of a club. They were arguing about music, and then they realized that they actually had the same passions and the same ideas, but they were never friends. Like, so that can definitely cause some differences because there is an emotional attachment. If someone's not as passionate about it and not putting as much work in as another person, Page of Pentacles reversed, that not only is going to affect you, like, F that, like, this is my work, this is our work, but it's also going to be like, how could you? You're my friend. It adds a deeper level to things, We already made it 1 year. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've already made it 1 year, but has it been an easy year? You've made it 1 year, but how often do you guys meet up and practice? I think at least once a week is what sustains a band. An ex-boyfriend of mine was in a band that he started, and yeah, his best friend was the bassist, and he was always having issues. The drummer was an alcoholic, but they still did manage to meet up every week and practice. Then his best friend ended up leaving, and then there was a rift there. They had to find another bassist. It's not easy. And they considered me as a vocalist, and I'm great. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've got some pipes on me. But then I thought about it. I'm like, girlfriend, boyfriend in a band. How long are we gonna last? I was even questioning that myself at that point. We've been together for a while, and I was kind of not so sure about our future. I loved his band, loved the idea of working with him, but it's not easy. It's not easy whether you're friends or not. I think when you're friends, I think it actually makes things a little more difficult. But I will say, I want to get some clarity with this Three of Wands reverse, because the Three of Wands is legitimately a card regarding time. Three of Wands reverse, lack of progress, obstacles, delays, frustrations. Speaking of frustrations, let's look at this Seven of Pentacles reverse. Seven of Pentacles is frustrations, unfinished work, lack of growth, setbacks, little results in work efforts, stagnations. so yeah, the obstacles are very much there. I'm sorry. I read that as it is not easy, but it was not easy. And you're talking about, yeah, the past year. Exactly. The readings I've been giving for you, it has not been easy. You've been putting a lot of mental and emotional energy into just getting this off the ground, getting people together. And I am so happy that you were able. And I think I told you that you were going to be able to make this happen. And I think I mentioned it wasn't going to be easy, but you would make this happen, and you did. That tells me, Mr. Oliver, that tells me that you are very much a Leo, and you definitely are making things happen for yourself. Excuse me. You're definitely making things happen for yourself in this project. But there's just only so much that you can do, and you are very much like the magician energy right now. You're implementing all of your resources and strength and passion into getting this to continue to get this off the ground. And I don't know when the last time it was. Juliet, girlfriend, how you doing, lovely? Good to see you. How you doing today? I don't know when the last time you guys had a session together was, but again, as with any art form, discipline is key. Regularity is key. Making sure that you guys meet up together at a certain day, certain time every week is important. Organizing a time that works for all of you and a day that works for all of you every week. If you can't get that together, it's going to be difficult to get things together when it comes to, hey, we have a performance at this venue at this time. You don't want people backing out. Or people showing up late, or people not putting in their effort, or people showing up drunk or whatever. That was the problem with the band that I was friends with. Was the lead singer was like the head of the band and organized everything. Then he'd get drunk off his ass because he was so nervous. He would get drunk off his ass before performing every night. I'm like, dudes, like a drink is fine, I guess, but I can tell you're drunk on stage, and it's not becoming. When I hear you sing in the studio sober, it doesn't sound like this. Our last session was August of last year. Oy, that's a long time, dude. So I'm saying you gotta, I can't tell you gotta do anything because you've done all you can. You've exhausted all your resources. You can only do so much. And if people aren't on board, which it sounds like they are, just not as much as you, if they can't get that discipline down, that regularity down, it's not. Again, the future is unwritten, but as it stands right now, if you can't get a day, a week, or at least a month, at the very least one day out of the month, where you guys get together and jam for at least an hour or two, then it's going to be very difficult to keep this going. And the Knight of Swords reversed is a card to slow down a little bit. I know that may sound a little weird because you guys haven't practiced since August, and you had your last jam session last night. So 8 months, it's a long time. Spirit is saying, yes, look to the future, but try your best to just stay in the present moment at this time. You guys had a great jam session last night, but don't, keep your dreams of longevity and performing and recording, but don't get ahead of yourself. You know what I mean? Don't fantasize too much because it could possibly end in disappointment. Staying in the present right now, staying focused on implementing a weekly or monthly session. Discipline is what it's all about. Regularity and discipline is what you need to implement here. You don't need to do anything, but I think that's what's the most important thing to implement right now is just regular jam sessions, regular meetings. The more often you guys make this a habit, the more habitual this is, the more, then you'll be on the right track too. Hi, hey, a Virgo girl, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're gonna send for a mini. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, the key really is regularity, staying in the present moment, and focusing on how you guys can function at this time in the most effective way. Regularity, habituality, discipline is crucial. And then once you guys get that down, that's when things start unfurling and coming to fruition. And you can start seeing the fruits of your labors come to fruition. What's the queue looking like? And thank you very much, Brian, for your donation, my friend. What is the queue looking like? The queue is currently open, Miss Juliet. And again, thank you very much for your donations, Brian. I wish you the very, very best. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys were able to meet up last night. And we just received a donation. Sorry, this keeps on moving around here. We just received a donation from Miss Shani. Thank you so much, Shani, for your donation. Let me go ahead and add you, girl. So that is the queue, Juliet. So if you make a donation, you will be after Miss Shani. Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you. How are you doing, love? How does Rakir feel about me? Shani, would you like me to do my love reading where I ask what their thoughts, their feelings, and intentions spread? And then your general energies and his general energies? I haven't been feeling the best mentally, to be honest. I'm sorry, Shani. TBH, me too. I had my first therapy. Well, not my first. I've been in therapy before, but I just got a new therapist. I met up with her today. She seems really cool so far. So far so good. You want to do that? You got that, honey. And what is Rakir's sign? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Rakir's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Shani? He's a Scorpio. But I need a new therapist too. Girl, the last therapist I had, she was good, but it was just like the scheduling, I don't know. I basically just got off track, girl. I blame it on me. And then, so I stopped seeing my therapist, and then the list was like 3 years to get a new one. So I'm just so grateful that I got the new one, and I'm sticking with her. If you can get a therapist, especially in this, with all the, insurance and everything. And I was telling her that too. I tell all my clients, you're not crazy. Everyone needs it. Just like everyone needs a doctor and everyone needs a dentist, everyone needs a therapist. It doesn't mean that you're mentally ill or anything. We've got to take care of our bodies, our minds, our teeth. Two of Cups reversed, Page of Wands reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, and Eight of Swords reversed. God, the other night I was on for hella days. I hear you, my insurance sucks, Sophie. Me too. My insurance, I'm grateful for it because it's affordable, but with the budget cuts, I've noticed it. Like I had a cold not too long ago and I couldn't even get like antibiotics for it. I had laryngitis. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I really hope that you get a therapist. I hope you're on at least a list or something like that. And we just received a donation from Miss Juliet. Let's add her quickly before we jump right into Shani's reading here. Thank you, Juliet. Okie dokie. All right, Shani. So right off the bat, this is heavy energy. You told me you weren't doing well mentally. To be honest, thank you for being honest with me, because oftentimes, we ask each other, "How are you doing?" And knee-jerk reaction is always to say, "I'm doing good. I'm doing well." Half the time we're not doing well. And when I ask someone how they're doing, I really mean it. Like, "How you doing?" I guess which is very not California of me. In California, it's just like, "How are you? I don't care. Bye." It's very more Midwestern. Like, I really want to know, like if you're not doing well, what's up? Guess what? I think, and I did the same thing. I said I was well. I'm well because I saw my therapist, but it's been a rough week. Been working a lot, had some fun, but there's those disappointments and difficulties. But anyway, let's jump right into this. Exactly, because we don't want to feel like we're burdening them or trauma dumping. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. I usually just lie. I think that's what most of us do. We don't want people to worry about us. We don't want people to. Yeah, we don't want to feel like at least for me, I don't want to feel like a burden or like. And especially as a tarot reader, I don't know. I'm sure you go to other tarot readers. Everyone does, and it doesn't offend me. But I've noticed with a lot of tarot readers, and they're the ones I don't go to. They're the ones that act like they know it all and they've overcome all obstacles, and they never go through depression and they never go through anxiety. I don't buy it. Like I had a bed rot day yesterday. I haven't had a bed rot day in like 6 months. But pure honesty, that was why I wasn't online yesterday. I had to just stay in bed. I don't know what it was, but they happen. You right, Juliet? Exactly. But it's not. Hey, like, how are you doing? I had a bed rot day yesterday. It's not something we want to say, but like, honestly, it's better to be honest because it keeps us more real. Like, I'm not a robot. I'm not. I have feelings. I have exhaustion. I have, a body. You had a bad rod day. Shut up, Juliet. Okay, high five. Virtual high five there. Cheers to that. I'll have a sip of coconut water for that. Yeah, so I don't feel so bad anymore. I watched like 10 episodes of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I finished Schitt's Creek. I just needed to not think of work, not think of like interpersonal relationships, just like mind elsewhere, Literally, we're sensitive. Exactly. We're sensitive celestial beings. So yeah, it's best to just be honest. And yeah, especially when I see readers just like pretend to seem like, and I hope I don't seem like that because I try to seem as vulnerable as possible because it's the truth. Anyway. That's your. Oh, shut up for real, because it's such a specific show. Like, and either you love it or you just don't get it. But like, I think I've watched it in its entirety probably like 5 times. It's literally my show. I can quote it. Like, I'm watching it now, and I finished. It's always Titus. Like, I finished like all of the quotes in that show, and you catch new ones too. I never noticed like. It is so niche, but it's just so funny. And I'll just be honest, like I need a Titus in my life. I really identify with Kimmy in like positivity, breaking through, you'll never break me. And I relate to Titus and his ridiculousness, but his desire, and anyway, I don't want to get too deep with it. It's really niche. Anyway, give me 1 sec, and we'll jump right into your reading. We'll analyze what I'm seeing here. Just give me a sec. Okay. All right. So I'll be honest. This ain't looking good. This is not looking good, Shani. Starting with your general energies, which of course you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but 2 of Cups reversed. The 2 of Cups is one of the 4 major love cards in my opinion. 2 of Cups, 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and 10 of Pentacles are the 4, in my opinion, the 4 most important love cards. And arguably I'd say 2 of Cups is the one. And that tells me that you are, I don't want to say you're at your like wit's end with Rashir. I'm hoping I'm remembering his name. It's Rashir, right? I think it was Rashir. Anyway, and oh, did you tell me what his sign was too? He's a Scorpio. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of I am getting vibes, energy of like this could be the end. We haven't spoken in some time. Okay. And then his general energy, not liking this. We have the 8 of Swords reversed. Is he he's your ex? Is he your ex? Because the 8 of Swords reversed. Rakir. Sorry, Rakir. I know I incanted it right because I was reading it. I just forgot at first, so I'm sorry about that. Rakir. Okay, not Rashir. Rakir. So 8 of Swords reversed is energy of feeling set free, not bound. So if this is your ex, then yeah, that's his energy. Is I'm free. I'm not bound at this time. I'm no longer bound to her. That's not to say that he didn't want to be with you, but to me it says that he, and it also doesn't tell me that he doesn't care about you. It just tells me that what I'm seeing here is a man who doesn't want to be locked down in any way. He doesn't want anyone, I don't want to say telling him what to do, but like directing him what to do. He doesn't want to be bound to the traditional bindings of a connection. Freedom, in his mind, he wants to do things on his own terms. And I furthermore see that with his thoughts towards you. We have the Page of Wands reversed. This is telling me that he felt that things were going in the connection. He felt that you either posed a threat of controlling things too much in the connection, which I don't think is the case. Well, you are a Virgo, and I know Virgos are very good at control, but like, I mean that, like, good at control. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, as a Virgo, you do feel like you're not a control freak, but you do prefer having control, right? In most situations, or no? That's just what I've noticed from like both male and female Virgos I've known, is control. Not, and by control I don't mean everything that he does, but like leading the way in positive ways. Like, you probably organized events, you probably organized dates, you probably organized like a lot of stuff for him. Like, Virgos and Capricorns, the great organizers. I told him I don't do inconsistency. That's very Virgo. And speaking of Virgo, we do have your card here with his feelings. We have your court card, the Knight of Pentacles, but it is reversed. This isn't you, hun, but it's in regards to his feelings. This is telling me that he doesn't want to put in the work. And you told, and like you just said, you told him that you don't do inconsistency. That's telling, consistency is putting in the work. And being present. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed is not present. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is not putting in effort. Now, I'm a little confused because this all looks not great to me, but then we get to his intentions and we have the Wheel of Fortune, which does indicate a change. either a desire on his part, because these are his intentions with the Wheel of Fortune, either a desire on his part to do better by you and change his actions. Yeah, to do better by you and to change his actions. I don't see this as him moving away and moving forward, but intentions are difficult because it's like he wants to change. He wants to change. Yeah, relationship changes, making adjustments in a relationship, change, decisive moments, and when it's in its upright form, I wanted to say it could mean he wants to move away, but it's upright. That's positive change. So when it comes to his intentions, he does value you. I told you that. He does value you a lot. It's just he does have issues when it comes to, well, and he's a fixed sign. That's part. He's featured on here as the Scorpio. He's a fixed sign, so he's stubborn. Virgos aren't. Virgos are all our signs are known to be a bit stubborn, but and I'm one too. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a fixed sign. I'm a stubborn person myself. But I'm willing, when I know I need to make adjustments, I do furtively, and this is your first boyfriend. Okay, so this is, kind of new territory here. I hear you. Well, you're talking to the right girl. I've had too many boyfriends and I've never been married, so I can give you all the advice you want on boyfriends. No, that probably sounded horrible. No, but I've had a lot of long-term relationships that lasted a very long time. I've had shorter-term relationships, serial monogamist, but I've been a single Pringle for many years, like almost 5 now. It was not like that in the past. I almost always had a boyfriend, but now I'm kind of just doing me. Anyway, back to you. His intentions, when it comes to intentions, those are tough because intentions are what someone wants to do. It doesn't indicate that they're, it's up to his own free will. I can't promise that he is going to change. He can promise to you that he is going to change, but not all promises are kept. And that's what I also think is an issue here is I think he knows what he needs to change. Oops, sorry about that. I think he knows what he needs to change here. And I think he does want to change it, but he also knows that it's difficult and knows that it's work. That Page of Pentacles reverse, Knight of Pentacles reverse, those are work, effort cards, consistency. We were together. I was more quiet and laid back. We talked again in our late 20s. He wasn't used to me being more vocal, so I think that's it. Gotcha. Then, yeah, it sounds like, again, you guys, he clearly really cares about you. You clearly really care about him. But yeah, you have your boundaries, and you said you need consistency from him, and if he can't provide that for you, this could be a case of two people who really care about each other, and like each other, but aren't shouldn't be together, or at least not at this time. Wrong place, wrong time. It's been a long time. You said you were together, and then in your late 20s, you talked again. So there was a long time between that. I hear you. Yeah, there's definitely a history here and a lot of value here, but at the same time, you absolutely deserve what you deserve, and you're not asking for a lot. You're not asking for the sun and the moon and the stars here. I just remembered I blocked him. Oh, well, maybe you should unblock him. You don't have to listen to me, but that almost sounded like, oh my God, maybe I should unblock him because he can't reach out to me right now. Yeah, if he can't reach out to you, see what can happen. See what's going on there, because he does. You do mean a lot to him, and he does at least want to change. There's a desire there to change something. So actions speak louder than words. We'll see what happens, but yeah, if you can keep the channels open, I always recommend that, as long as someone isn't harassing you or bullying you. I do, I only block people who are harassing or bullying me. But if that's not the case, I wouldn't block him. But you don't have to listen to me. But there is a high probability he could reach out to you. Yeah, I know he still loves me, but I don't know. Yeah, I know he still loves you too. I'm the same way, but I don't know if you should be together. That's the thing. He loves you, you love him, but I don't know if it's a good match. But I would keep the channels open, even if it's just for friendship or closure. And I also, you said this was your first boyfriend, or he was your first boyfriend. You know, that does go deep, I understand. I recently swiped right on, I saw an ex of mine on Hinge. I think I told you, and I swiped right. No, I don't know if I told you. We broke up, we dated twice when I was in my 20s. We broke up exactly 10 years ago. And I'm like, damn, like, we've got to have grown a lot in 10 years. So I'm hoping maybe we can. I don't usually recommend going back to the past, but when there's been a lot of time, sometimes, like I mentioned, it might just be like wrong place, wrong time. But keep the channels open, because there might be a right time in the future. You never know. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Shani Love. Thank you so much for your donation, and I really appreciate you, and much love and light to you, sweetheart. Thank you. Miss Juliet, thank you for your donation, honey. Were you interested in a 10-card reading, or did you have 2 questions? You're very welcome, sweetheart. Yeah, there's history there. So it's good. I think it's good to keep the channels open. You never know. I've seen people get back together like 20. I have a friend who's in her early 70s. I'm not joking. She's in her early 70s. She's a widower, and she's currently dating the guy, her 12-year-old dance partner, her first dance in middle school. They reconnected on Facebook, and now they're boyfriend and girlfriend, like 60 years later. Crazy. So sweet. I love that story. So I want to share that with you. Like, keep the doors open. You never, ever know. It could just be wrong place, wrong time, and the right place, right time may come. Hardy and you, just one. You got it, my darling. Juliet, please remind me, what is your sign, and what is Hardy's sign? And I don't mean that it's going to happen in 70 years. I don't mean that. It could happen sooner, but there really is something about fate, right place, right time, and people who I think are meant to be in our lives. You're a Virgo. We got the Virgos in the house tonight. Dang. Okay, you're a Virgo and he's an Aries. All right. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Girlfriend, you're the one who had the. Did you? Oh my God, today's Thursday. Were you the one that had the brunch date? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Is this the guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, and is that you? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? No brunch date. Was that not you? Was that someone else? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Hardy's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Juliet? He's the boy who cried in front. Okay. Isn't it you call him? Is that Hillary? You call him Hardy too? Say just a different name. No, that was a Cancer. Hillary was a Cancer. This is a different guy. Wait. Yeah, because Hardy's an Aries. Yes, his name is okay. That was Joseph. Okay, okay. So Hardy's the one who cried in front of you, and his name is Joseph, and he goes by Hardo. Okay. So this is the one that you're like dating. Page of Pentacles, the Moon reverse, Strength, and he's the one with the baby mama issues. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the clarity. Sorry about all the questions. Strength reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, Two of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups, Temperance, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles reversed, and Seven of Cups reversed. Okay, let's start with your general energies. With the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. You're at a point where and not at a point, I think I got this energy the last time I read for y'all. You'll do anything. Not anything, but like you won't it's not like Seven of Swords where you'll like buy, you'll like steal or lie for him, but you will do a lot to make this work with this Page of Pentacles. You're doing everything in your power. Virgo, as I was saying to Shani, Virgos do like to have a semblance of control, and it's not. I rarely see it as control freakishness. It's more like, I'll be honest, I feel like Virgos really just, you guys are pragmatic and you have a good head on your shoulders. And honestly, I don't want to say you know what's best all the time, but a lot of the time, y'all Virgos do. And it's just for the best. And I also see patience with this Page of Pentacles. You're consistent. You're dedicated to this connection despite the difficulties, and you absolutely feel like his queen. With this Queen of Cups, my feelings are kind of hurt currently. He's not talking to me, and I feel like he's punishing me for being embarrassed. Hi, Jay Sweet. Welcome. Yeah, let's get into that because there was a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment. So these are your current energies, girl. I'm just getting into this. You still feel like his Queen of Cups, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last reading we did for you, we had the Queen of no, it was the Queen of Swords reversed, and then no, that was someone else. But I think we had the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. But you do still feel like his queen. Now his general energies, we have the Two of Wands reversed and the Seven of Cups reversed. Now this is definitely something that we need to get into here. I mean, obviously every reading. Yes, it was Queen. It was Queen of Swords, and then we also had King of Swords. I remember. Yeah, and his general energies. So yeah, this Two of Wands reversed with his general energies. He's feeling very hopeless. There's a lot of embarrassment, and I'll get to that in a moment. There's shame, and he's feeling very hopeless. And do I feel like he's punishing you? No, I don't. I feel like he's punishing himself, and I don't want to say he's screwing himself over, but in his shame over crying in front of you, like it's deeply affecting him. I'm not making excuses for him not reaching out to you at this point. Good news, I think I even told you in the last reading, he will be reaching out to you. I didn't give you a set time frame, but I see he intends on reaching out to you. I'll get to that in a moment, okay? But at this time, in his current energies, he's in a very low place. He's sabotaging our connection. Not intentionally. No, he's not intentionally sabotaging your connection, Juliet. I would not say. I think he's subconsciously sabotaging it. Two of Wands reversed, Seven of Cups reversed. There are serious romantic decisions that, and not just romantic decisions, but decisions in general that he needs to make, and make soon, in order to retain this connection, if he wants to retain this connection. His thoughts, we have the Moon reversed and Temperance. This is what's telling me that I don't think he's being vengeful or vindictive towards you. I think he is seriously, deeply ashamed. and I told you he's in an extremely dark place. This moon reversed card, he's in a dark place, and when I say he's in a dark place, I mean that in both ways, emotionally, but also mentally. He wants to speak to you, okay? And I see that he wants to speak to you. But it's like he's afraid that if he speaks to you now, he's afraid of crying again. He's afraid of saying something stupid. He's afraid of the fact that he doesn't have a solution yet to what's going on in your relationship, to the problem in your relationship, which is his baby mama. He doesn't have a solution here, and he's grasping at straws. He's very hopeless and feels like there's little to nothing that he can do. With this Strength Reverse card, he feels powerless, and he feels ashamed, feels like less of a man now that he's exposed that part of himself to you. Yet he does feel like you are his queen, and you are an ideal person for him to be with, and that you deserve the best. And right now, he can't give you the best. He can barely take care of himself with all these issues, let alone his family, which is his job. Now, with his intentions, I'm a little concerned here, I'll be honest. We have the Ace of Swords reversed and the Three of Pentacles reversed. It doesn't concern me, but it goes back to his general energies and his thoughts in terms of, I want to speak to her, but if I do at this time, I'm going to say something stupid, and I'm going to embarrass myself, and there's going to be some kind of miscommunication. The Ace of Swords means that he's definitely in an introspective position right now. I think I mentioned in the last reading, I think it was the Hangman reverse, I was like, he's definitely taken a step back, and it's not out of anger towards you or wanting to hurt you. It's out of shame. He can't be the best man to you that you deserve at this time. And it is really, again, I'm not making excuses for him, but it's weighing very heavily on him. And I remember last time, if I'm not mistaken, we had the Emperor and the Three of Pentacles reversed, and that's the Father card, and things not working out, collaborative working out, not happening. She's not being collaborative. And I'm seeing that here again with this, again, the Three of Pentacles reversed. Conflicts, there are very real conflicts in his everyday life that are preventing him from being the best man towards you, that are preventing him from being the best teammate towards you in a partnership. So it may feel like he's being vindictive, like he's trying to sabotage this connection. I hear you, and if I were you, my mind might go in that direction too, because I think that's just very human for us to do, to seek answers when we're not seeing an explanation. But the fact that these two readings were just so damn similar, and I needed, it does feel, yeah, I hear you, but these two readings were so similar to the last one, which wasn't too long ago. So, and these are current energies, and current energies do change, but they feel very similar to the last reading. He's got issues with his family life that are preventing him from being the best man to you, and he knows you deserve that. And he's ashamed that he can't give that to you right now. Now, does he want to end things with you? That I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a man who doesn't want to lose you, but he needs to sort out this very real problem in his life right now. I forget how long it was since him and his baby mama left and split. I don't know if it's a recent thing or if this has been years. If it's kind of recent since they ended things, then I have every reason to believe that patience time is of the essence, and she will likely be less of a problem as time goes on. But that's also something that you need to take into consideration. It's been years. Okay, that's okay. So she's just a problem, and that would lead me to believe that she's been a problem in other connections in his life as well. And he goes and he, I think he's seeing pattern recognition, and it's not that he's trying to sabotage you. It's like, she's done this before. She's prevented me from having the love that I deserve in the past. And I think in his mind, he's feeling like just luck is against him. The world is against him, and he's ashamed to admit that to you. And when you say he's sabotaging the connection, I'll agree with you only in the sense that I don't believe that he's intentionally doing so. I don't see that in his intentions. I don't see it in his feelings. I don't see a man who's wanting to hurt you or sabotage anything. I see a man who has no idea what to do right now, and normally has things down, but he found a wonderful woman, and he's been dreading this because he knew that at some point she'd come along and start some problem because she's done it in the past, and he's worried that this is just what he's doomed to. He's seeing pattern recognition because he's doing the same thing. Like, why does this happen to me? Why is this happening? And he's just brooding over it in silence. And you're seeing it how it makes sense to see, like, is he trying to punish me? No, he's not trying to punish you. There's nothing to punish in terms of you seeing him cry. It's not, he has no vindication towards that. He has a lot of shame. He's so embarrassed. And he's trauma. I'm not making excuses for him. I feel trauma. I feel like he's processing it like it was very traumatic for him, and he cried. And a lot of men don't let those tears out, especially not in front of someone, and especially not in front of someone who they love and are in a romantic connection with. He's very, very embarrassed, and it's almost like, I don't know if you watch Sex in the City, but there's an episode where Carrie wakes up in the morning and she farts in front of Big, and she's humiliated, and she leaves immediately and doesn't talk to him for like a week because she farted in front of him. Like, that's kind of a girl thing, right? Like, that men are ashamed of crying, women are ashamed of farting, I guess. I don't know. But it, like, and she didn't talk to him for a week, but that was just a fart. This was, hours of tears, and he's humiliated. He's replaying in his mind. That's another thing. It's replaying in his mind, and he knows that it's something that's likely going to be discussed the next time you guys talk. There's a lot to be discussed, and it's heavy-ish. It's heavy stuff, and it's not like a fun phone call like you guys normally have. Like, hey, what's up? How's your day? What are you going through? Like, how are you doing? All right? What did you eat today? You're looking good today. You know what I mean? Reality has hit, and he's also sad that he can't just call you and have that levity right now because he's dealing with this crap. So I do stand by this. He wants to reach out to you, and he doesn't want this to end, but he also doesn't know how to solve this. And I do have every reason to believe that he's been here before, and it's overwhelming for him. And again, I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying his behavior is correct or fair. He should be reaching out to you, but it's also really hard for him. So the best course of action here, I don't know if you reach out to him at some point, if you don't hear from him in a few weeks, because at that point, that's real. I would be truly concerned about it, just where he's at. Like, I would even just, like, hey, like, thinking of you, like a text, just like, hey, just thinking about you. You mean a lot to me, and I'm hoping that things are going well for you. Something like that. Maybe not too deep, but something with like levity, so it opens up a possible dialogue. He's ignored me. I was gonna say that. I feel like that's what my like therapist would tell me to say. I think that's the best thing to say, and he's ignored that. Okay, so I would give him some time. Have you tried calling him? Okay, I would wait on that if he's ignored a text. He needs space. He needs more space, Juliet. This was really traumatic for him, and I'm not saying that this wasn't. So this is conversely traumatic for you. You're dealing with it too. You know, you called as well. Okay, you're doing all the right things. Okay, yeah, so, and you're sharing this. You're having to live this as well, and not as deeply because you're not in it. You're not seeing it. You know, you're not actually physically present in it. But I'll give it. But I'm trying to not take it personally. That's the best thing to do. Don't take it personally. I like seriously, Juliet. The cards are saying there's nothing personal here. He cares about you a lot, and he's really worried about losing you. He's really ashamed of himself. He feels like, yeah, that was a part of his life and a part of himself. He really doesn't want to share with anyone, but it is a part of his life and at this time, and it sucks, but it is the way it is, and he's got to figure out some way of adjusting, making some kind of adjustment. He knows that. Yeah, don't take it personally. As hard as that is, I do not see him, and I would tell you know that girl. If I saw that he was being vindictive and wanting and like withholding, trying to sabotage you, you know, I would tell you. But I feel like he's subconsciously sabotaging himself. He's not doing what he should do in order to save the woman he really, really loves. I appreciate you too, Julia. Thank you so much, love. And thank you for all the, I'm sorry I forgot a lot of the details, but thank you for the refresher, because then it just all came back together. And the fact that the cards, or at least the reading, was very similar to last time tells me a lot. Just a little more time. And yeah, it's hard to not take it personally, but the good news is it's not. Nothing you did. Nothing you did. So much love and light to you, Juliet. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you, and just hope I brought you some clarity there. Thank you again. And we received a donation from someone. Thank you so much for your donation, in person who I don't know. But we received a donation. You too, love. You too. Have an amazing rest of your night. You know, self-care. We both had bed rot days yesterday, so I don't know about you, but after my bed rot days, I usually feel a lot better the next day. Not a lot better, but at least like I'm like, okay, I'm back on track. You know, it is. I figured I was actually looking for your username. I figured it was you. Thank you. And where did you donate? Just so I get clarity, but I'm almost positive it's you, so I'm just gonna add you. There's no one else in the room. Are you new to the channel? Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, I figured that was you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Natalie. And were you interested in a 10-card reading, or did you have 2 questions? All good. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, Miss Natalie. If it's been a while, about 5 months ago or 6 months ago, YouTube changed didn't change people's usernames, but it turned people's usernames into their @username. So there's a lot of return clients where I knew their name at one point, but now it looks different. So I think one question, since they go into each other, I think, sure, yeah, let's check it out. I'll give you advice whether we should maybe split it into 2 or just do it as 1. But tell me what's on your mind. Yeah, it's been embarrassing for me. I've had a lot of clients that I would have remembered from like a year or even 2, 3 years ago, just because I'm quite good at remembering names. But yeah, so there's been a lot of return people where I'm like, are you new? I have a question regarding career. I'm a nurse at this moment, but not feeling fulfilled. I've been drawn to writing, and I've started writing on a book. It's going slow with the writing, and I'm learning. I'm curious to see if writing could be a future career for me. Natalie, I remember you. You're from Europe, aren't you? And you write science fiction and or fantasy. Am I correct? That's you, isn't it? See, I have a good memory. I probably would have remembered your last username. Yes, you're from Sweden. You're my Swedish girl. I wish I knew how to say hello in Swedish. Romancy. Love it. Love it. Okay, yeah, let's do, I think we should do this as a 10 card too. Yeah. Would writing be a future career for you? Hej? I bet I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Hej. Sorry, give me one sec. Hey. Oh, it sounds like hey. I love that. Hey. Okay. Awesome. Or that's at least that's what Google said it sounded like. Hey. All right, girl. Cool. And you're a Virgo, right? You've got to be. Are you an Earth sign? I think all of my clients tonight have been Virgo. So if you're a Virgo, that's gonna make me laugh. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Okay. I was gonna say you're either. That's so funny. And then the back of my mind, I was like, I feel like there's some December energy. It's correct. Sometimes the J at the end can be a bit weird. Yeah, Swedish is definitely. Oh, I'm already bad at learning languages, but Nordic languages are especially tough for me. The easiest language that I had to learn was German, because English is Germanic. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Miss Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Would writing be a good career move for Natalie? Yeah, my friend's daughter lives in Stockholm with her family. She loves it there. Oh my God, both her and her husband, she just had a baby back in May, and both her and her husband get both maternity and paternity leave for the next, I think, 2 years. I'm like, wow, that's not America. That is so not America. Good for them. Good for that country. 6 of Swords, Ace of Swords reversed, with the Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Wands, King of Cups reversed, King of Swords, the Empress, 10 of Swords reversed, the World reversed, and Page of Cups. This looks excellent. Right off the bat, Natalie, this looks really good. And I can't tell you, I have quite a few. Yeah, it's a bit different from the U.S. We also have free healthcare. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Europe has free healthcare. That I really want to move there. I'm an EU citizen. I think I've told you, but I need to establish residency in my country of origin, which is Ireland, and I don't want to live there. I think I have to live there for like a year to get my health card, my European health card. But anyway, talking about you. Oh yeah, this looks great, honey bunny. This looks really good, like, right off the bat. And if I can say that right off the bat, like this is good. Sometimes it takes me a while to, I live in San Francisco. I've lived in the Bay Area almost my whole life. Yeah, I'm currently in San Francisco. But I would love to live in France. That's Amsterdam or Paris or London. I'm also a British citizen. I was born in England. So I've got 3 passports. It's just a matter of figuring out how to live, what to do. I can do tarot. I can continue to do tarot anywhere in the world, but in terms of my other job, I have to ideally live somewhere that speaks that has a lot of English speakers. Big cities are good for that, but they're also more expensive. Anyway, let's get into this. Starting with the 6 of Swords. This is getting in your boat and moving to calmer waters. And I can't tell you how many friends and clients of mine. I have a lot of clients who are nurses, and it's one of 2 ways. I have one client, Shateria. She is an RN, and she is meant to be a nurse. She's been doing it for years. She loves it. It's her calling. I always see it in the card. She feels it. And then I have some clients who are nurses, and they're like, now that I'm doing it, I just don't feel the calling. And it's a hard-ass job. It's you know it. I know it. It's one of the most difficult jobs. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of hours, and you're saving lives. But you have this creative, huge. I haven't even gotten to it yet. This Page of Cups, the Empress. You've got serious talent, girl. You've got serious talent. I would love, if you ever felt comfortable with it, I would love to read what you've written. But Spirit is saying here that your voice needs to be heard. You've got a great voice, and by voice I mean your writing. Maybe you're a good singer too, but we're talking about writing here. You've got this King of Swords, swords being the realm of the mind. You're smart. You're a smart woman, and you're a good writer. You're really good. And Spirit is saying that with this Ace of Swords, this is also about using your voice. Spirit is saying that you need to write more, because you have this wealth of, like, there. I was telling Brian earlier, you're really lucky. Both him and you are very lucky. There's a lot of artists who have this creative energy in them, but there's a block. But with you, it flows. But unfortunately, your current job creates not a creative blockage, but an energetic blockage. It's really weird, since I haven't been in healthcare my whole life. It feels like my whole identity, so it's been scary to look at anything other. But this story has been with me for years. I'm so happy. Yeah, it's a whole story. And I have a client who has a screenplay going on, and then I have clients who are just like, I know I'm creative, but I don't know how to express it, and that's my problem. I don't know what medium to use. I don't know what song to write. I don't know what story to write. I've had a creative block for maybe 10 years. Ever since my spiritual block went away, my creative block kind of went away. It's a little strange. But you have no creative blocks. The only block you have is this job, is taking away your energy that you could put fully into your book, into your story. Spirit is saying something needs to come to a close with this Ten of Swords in order for things to get rolling with your writing, with the Wheel of Fortune. And it's very hard to make money as a creative, especially in these times. Whether you're a musician or a writer or a traditional, like a painter or an artist, it's hard to make money off of your art. So that's, I will say, love, I am not seeing any pentacles here. That is the thing that concerns me, is I'm not seeing any pentacles. So I don't want to say that you're never going to make money off of this. This is also what I'm afraid of. Will I be able? Yeah, exactly. It's a fear that I have too. Like if I don't bind myself to a more traditional career, am I not going to make it in the long term? And that's the gamble that you take as an artist. Wheel of Fortune. But your fortune is looking positive. But I am concerned about the lack of pentacles. We've got to, in reality, we have to stick with that. You do need your, what is it, krona in Sweden? You need your krona. And you got to live. So is there any way that you could switch to a different department or to, like, have less hours? Because it's like things not, like, we do have the Ten of Swords reversed here, which is something coming to a close, but it's the World reversed is also saying that some, like, not completely, but Eight of Wands is saying keep on writing. You've got a voice, you've got a message, you've got a story to tell, and the world would like to hear it. And romance, you said romancy, especially if it's on the erotic side, girl, now those books sell like crazy. Those literotica books are going, I don't know if you write literotica specifically. It doesn't sound like it, but if you do, and it's just something you didn't want to say, that's totally fine. That stuff sells really well. If you can make it a little spicy, or if it is kind of spicy, that really, really gets people's attention. And I don't think it's like cheapening anything. It sounds like you have it's a very romantic story. Exactly. If there's romance, there's bound to be some at least potential for spiciness. And that stuff's very popular. And it's not they're romance novels. Women, we our eros is typically driven by emotions, and you're very in touch with that. I've been taking less hours. I'm trying to see if I could focus on my book. Bingo. That's the key. That's the key. Changing the balance of things with this King of Cups reversed. Yeah, I think you should lessen your hours at your work. Either switch to a different department or switch to a different workplace, so that you have more time to write this story, because damn girlfriend, you got a story to tell, and people want to hear it. People will like it. This Page of Cups, you are an inspired person. You're deeply creatively inspired, and you have been deeply creative inspired for a while. The story is already in your head. It just needs to get onto paper, or I'm so old, onto your computer. Just needs to be typed out. And a lot of it has. You've been working on it. It hasn't. You haven't finished it. And Spirit's saying, you got to finish this, because people want to read it. Eight of Wands is fast-moving communication. So, do I think that it's the only that you can survive only on being a writer? That's the gamble that I can't promise. It looks more promising than not, at least in the sense that I do think you can make money from publishing this story. People will definitely want to read it. You will definitely gain, I do believe you will gain traction. But yes, in terms of switching jobs, relying entirely on your writing, that would take time to see. You publish your first novel, you see how the reception is. I used to work in publishing. You see what the reception is like. You see how the sales are like. And then I have no doubt that you just have a wealth of creative ideas. These are like the two creatives, the Page of Cups and the Empress. You've got a wealth of creative ideas. I feel like there's more than just one story in you. I feel like there's possibly this could be a saga, I don't know if you were thinking about something like that, but those sell well as well. If you can do sequels, do a saga of books, those, and romance novels in general. When I used to work at a bookstore, I used to joke, because I wanted to be a writer, I used to joke, like, I don't like romance novels myself, but they sell so well. Maybe I should, and they're so formulaic, maybe I should just write them. But no, I'm just kidding. That's not what I'm telling you to do. It sounds like yours is far more nuanced. You said it's fantasy, romance. You've got a lot going on there. Not a lot going on, but it is a niche, which is good. You've got a niche, so that's really good as well. And you just got a clear vision. That's what's up. It's fantasy and romance. I'm so happy you've been scared since the writing career is not always stable. Yeah. The story I have in my head is for sure 2 or 3 books at least. There you go, girl. There you go. Who are some of your favorite writers? I'm curious. In terms of fantasy, I'd say my favorite fantasy writer is Clive Barker, because I love a little bit of horror. I mean, well, he does. He writes horror and fantasy. But I don't know if you ever read Imagica. It's an epic. It's like 1,200 pages or something. I think they eventually split it into 3 books, but I just read it in one. I read it in like a week. It is phenomenal. It has stuck in my head since I was like 15. Definitely one of my favorite fantasy writers. Who else do I like when it comes to fantasy? There was someone else I used to really love. Who was it? I'm blanking on it, but yeah. For my first choice for fantasy would be Clive Barker. Imagica, I think, is just incredible, and even Imagica definitely has spicy moments for sure. Now that I think about it, most of the books I've read have had spicy moments at some point. And I'm not saying, hey, sex sells, write sex. I'm not telling you to do that, but the more you can encompass in your writing. My favorite writer of all time is James Joyce. So the more you can include, the more the better is how I see it. I am mostly into the fantasy romance, but don't think I have a clear favorite since I do enjoy the different writing styles. Yeah, for sure. I also really liked Anne Rice's sister, Anne Bortrand, or Borchan, I believe her name was. I don't know if she's still with us. She was a great fantasy writer. I loved her stuff. She created I love like different worlds and stuff like that. It's very cool. And we just received a donation a little while ago from Miss Wendy, but it does sell a lot. I follow these trends, and it's a lot of crazy stuff. Exactly, it's true, honey. It's true. People are reading more, which is great because attention spans really went away with TikTok. But now there's book talk. People are reading, especially women, and they're going crazy over books. And yeah, you just said you're following the trends. I don't follow them as closely as you, but I do know they exist. Book talk is a big one. And so yeah, there is definitely, I think there's been a resurgence in one's ability to become an actual like paid writer. So definitely like that Wheel of Fortune upright, keep that in mind. It is a gamble, but it's on the better side of things, and have faith in how strong your voice is. My goodness, your creativity is just it's like an overflowing well or spring with that beautiful Page of Cups and the Empress. There's even crazy books like A Milking Farms and stuff. Girl, yeah, oh yeah, and those books about those Mormon romance book or what? No, Amish. That's it. Amish romance books where it's like forbidden love and they're like not allowed to touch the person, like, and then okay, so it's actually like been a theme in romance books for women. And I'm not telling you to write this, but like basically like like non-consensual, but like, oh no, he's taking me away. Don't take me away. That type of thing. I don't, what's the word? There's a word for it. I'm sure you know. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think that's definitely for women who are maybe a little more cautious about their sexuality, or like in like The Yearning, is that one of the Amish ones? I've never heard of that one. I haven't read any of these ones. I've read like all of Anne Rice's erotica. That's like the only like erotica romance type stuff I've read. Those are really cool because she had just very interesting stories, and then they like, yeah, they were just really cool. No, just just this yearning in general. Yes, yes, yes. I thought that's a great title for a book, The Yearning. Yeah, no, those are really popular, and you're so welcome, Natalie. Thank you, love. I appreciate you, and yes, go forth, little cricket. You will do well. Yes, I love yearning too, but it's so funny. There's like an actual term for it, and it's been in romance books since like the 1700s, 1600s, where like there's like a prince or a stable boy who the woman likes but she can't be with, and then he takes her away and she's like, no, don't touch me, and then basically like consensual rape, like there's a whole like genre of books about that people are going crazy about. My theory is that it's women, because men aren't reading this stuff, we know that. I think it's women who are probably in like cultures or communities where sexuality is more, I don't want to say demonized, but like not as like within it, like a woman isn't given so much agency in her sexuality or her desire. And yeah, Monster Love and everything. Monster Love. Oh, is that the one where like people like they fall in love with vampires and like different creatures? I love that movie, The Shape of Water. That's one of my favorite movies. That's definitely Monster Love. And I'm sorry, but that monster was fine as fuck. He was fine. That water guy. Like real, yeah, like real monsters. Yeah. Not. I mean, I guess vampires aren't really monsters per se. I used to read like so many vampire books before they were popular. I never read Twilight. I was into Anne Rice when I was in my teen years, so I was over it at that point. You're reading one where the guy is a dragon, girl. What? That's so cool. Krakens, taurens, etc. Whoa. See, this is a whole new world. This is a whole new world for me. That's so interesting. I'm not reading anything right now. I was gonna pick up a Murakami book. I love him. I've been really into him lately. I've been really focused on like short stories, and Murakami is so different from what we're talking about right now. um, but yeah, that sounds fascinating. Wait, what's the title, Wendy? I'm low key curious about this dragon book. Dragons are amazing. I don't know if I'd ever fall in love with one, but I would definitely be best friends with one. Like Falcor, oh my god, from Neverending Story. Don't think I'd date him, but he'd be a dope ass friend. I'd never have to fly commercial ever again, economy ever again. A Forgery of Fate. I'm gonna check that out. It's Asian folklore. That's super cool, girl. Is it an older book or a new one? Whoa. Is it written by an East Asian writer? Is it translated? Because like all of Murakami, because Murakami's obviously Japanese, the name's so Japanese, Murakami. All of his stuff's translated, but it translates so well, and it's so interesting because he's very popular here as a writer in America, but apparently in Japan he's not so big. I think she's Asian American. Okay, so that's really cool. That's really cool. So she's like, yeah, she's done some studying. Definitely knows the folklore. That's so cool. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'm looking for something to get. Well, that's not true. I'm looking at all my books that I'm reading for my class right now, all my Judaism books. I'm kind of stuck in those, but yeah, I need some fiction in my life. Get writing, Natalie. I need to read your book. We need to read your book, Natalie. Yeah, doesn't that sound cool? That sounds really awesome. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, no, I've seen some of the TikToks where like, and it's usually it's all women. Sometimes they like cry. They'll be like, "Oh my god, like the ending of this book, I just can't." Like, all right, yeah, exactly, Natalie. You do your best, love. You do your best. You got a story. I don't know how far you are, but people will definitely love it. And thank you again, sweetheart. Much love and light to you. Now, Miss Wendy, how can I help you this evening? As always, Natalie, you're very welcome, sweetheart. And you get some rest because it's very late. Well, you probably have strange hours. It's been annoying me. Why is Samuel taking this long to fix the reservation? I had a feeling it was that, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a very kind way because I'm wondering too. Hey, Jessica. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, sweetheart. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's restaurant reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, why is Samuel taking so long to fix Wendy's reservation? If he doesn't want to help me, just tell me. Oh, girl, you know I would. You know I would. I'm gonna tell you. Girl, I always tell you the truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat. I'm not a soothsayer. Tell you what's going on. We got Two of Swords reversed, King of Cups reversed, Knight of Swords, the Lovers reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. He's Oh, I meant he should tell me. Oh, right. Okay, I was gonna say, girl, you know me. Yeah. He should just do this. Well, the good news is he does intend. I'll start with the good news. He does intend on taking care of this. It's on his mind with the Knight of Swords, and taking care of business with the Wheel of Fortune. Things will be in your favor. Um, but the reason why he's taking his time is because he's bitter. He's a bitter guy about what happened between the two of you, aka he up his chance to be with you. We've got both the King of Cups reversed and the Lovers reversed. This guy, it girl, I would not be surprised if the reason why he's out of the office right now is because he's in a very bad mental state. This really it rehashed. He thought it was going to rehash things between you in a positive way, but it just put him back in his mental state where he's like, I can't do anything. I'm such a loser. She'd never want to be with me. Nothing even. That's what I mean. Like the thing that happened was nothing between the two of you. He missed out on his chance. Um, so right now, it's not. I don't think he's like. I think he's ignoring a lot of emails, ignoring a lot of texts. I think he's. I was telling Julia. I fully admit bed rot day yesterday. That's why I was not online. I think I'm PMSing. I'm not sure, but I just had a bed rot day. The morning was not good, and I couldn't really. King of Cups reversed me yesterday. I couldn't really get over the fact that I was booked for a class in the morning. I was at a concert the night before. I could have stayed later. I could have stayed up later, But then I called, and he's like, no, you're not here today. Pissed me off. Anyway, so I was like, just bed rot. I have every reason to feel that he's bed rot right now. I know work has been bad. Yeah. And it's not, and that's this Two of Swords reverse, is he's not looking at texts. He's not reading things. Whereas he, as you mentioned, he was not lying when he said that he is just like constantly in work mode. He leaves his phone on. Right now, I mean, his phone's on, but I think he's not looking at it very often. Yeah, the Lover's reversed. He missed out on his chance with you, and he knows that this reservation that you're making is a dinner for two at a nice restaurant, and he doesn't have the cojones to go to Portugal to have dinner with you, which is honestly what you would love, I think, and what he would love. And similar to a reading I did earlier, he's sabotaging this subconsciously. He's not trying to punish you. He's punishing himself. And again, I'm not making excuses for the guy, but it emotionally rehashed things in a negative way when he thought that helping you would rehash things and open up doors. I think I need to see him one more time to see it. Yeah. It might be a little weird. Like I mentioned, it was on his mind. I think it still is the fantasy. I think he does fantasize about being with you in Portugal, but then when it comes to like thinking about, oh well, what would we talk about? Where would we go? You know, how would the walk home be? He freaks out because he just feels like he can't be the man that you need to be, or the man that you need him to be. So he's not trying to punish you. He's not trying to be a D. He's just really overwhelmed and really embarrassed and processing basically his failures. We'd just be two coworkers having dinner and walking. For real, it's not that complicated. But he makes it so effing complicated, and he's made it so complicated this whole time. When he hasn't, there's no need to make it complicated. You would have welcomed him. It's so stupid. It's not stupid, it's sad. Because I don't think this is the first time this has happened in his life. I think this is a pattern, and he submits to it. And as opposed to, I've identified it, now let me work on this. He's identified his issue, but he's not rectifying it. Thank you. I wanted to know if he had... No, it's not ill intentions. His intentions were good. His intentions were honestly romantic. He was hoping that maybe... and that's why he put it in his name. I don't know if he had a drink or what when he did it, but he took a chance, put it in his name, and now he's like freaking out. But it's not, he's not trying to be mean to you. He's just still very much into you and not that he can't do anything, it's that he's not doing anything. So yeah, you're very welcome, Wendy. And yeah, I had a client earlier who was, I had to reassure her that it wasn't vindication, it was embarrassment and shame. Doesn't mean that the behavior is okay. He still needs to take care of business, and he will. He will before you leave. He'll take care of it. But it's like he knows he has time, and he knows that he like can't handle anything right now. And we just received a donation from Miss Jessica. Jessica, thank you so much, sweetie, for your donation, love. And thank you again, Miss Wendy. I appreciate you so much. I hope I brought you some clarity there. All right, we have Miss Jessica here. Thank you again for your donation, love. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Do you see me getting the position with Y? Let's see here. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? I'm doing all right. I had a bit of a bummer day yesterday, but I went to a concert Wednesday night. That was cool. It's been an up and down week. But you're going on a trip tomorrow morning. How exciting. Where are you going? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? You're an Aries, right, baby? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? Or are you I always mix up Aries and Taurus. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Gatelinburg, the smoky. Oh, lovely. What Sagittarius? Where did I get Aries? Sagittarius. Never mind. Okay. The Smoky. Oh, I love the Smoky Mountains. Girl, go to Dollywood. Go to Dollywood, girl. I've only driven through them. I've never like really stopped. But I remember we were driving through them. I was driving cross country one year, like 8 years ago, and we were driving through Tennessee. And I was like, oh my God, is there a fire? I legit thought if there was a fire. He was like, no. I was with my ex-boyfriend. He was like, no, Sophie, we're in the Smoky Mountains. It's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So that is so exciting. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? I always forget that you moved back to Tennessee. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the position with Y? It's fun. I still think that you're in Vegas half the time. It's so funny. Okay, girl. We have 7 of Cups reversed, Ace of Swords reversed. What the heck? 3 of Pentacles reversed, 3 of Swords reversed, and 10 of Pentacles. This is a weird reading. So pretty much everything, okay, 7 of Cups reversed, that's a no for me. That's saying that well, did you apply? Because this 10 of Pentacles don't lie at the end. I have to address that. But the 7 of Cups reversed is either avoiding making a decision or someone hasn't made a decision. The future is unwritten. You know, I always say that. Just today, okay, so I think that's what's going on, is the future's unwritten. If you just applied today, then they haven't actually made a decision yet. And I don't know what time you applied, but they may not have even seen the application yet. And that's the energy of Ace of Swords reversed, 7 of Cups reversed. That's someone who hasn't seen something yet. That's a decision that hasn't been made yet. 3 of Pentacles reversed is telling me that they have, this is not a matter of Jessica getting the job or not. This is a matter of it. I can't answer yes or no right now because I don't think they've reviewed your application. Do you know if they have? Because then that might change things. But there's another post up. What do you mean? They posted the job again? The same job or a different job? Because the 3 of Pentacles reversed is telling me one of two things. Either you wouldn't have a good time working there, it wouldn't be a good fit for you, or what I really think it is I think they haven't seen it. Probably not. Yeah. Oh, you're all good, babes. You're all good. Because then I'm seeing this 3 of Swords reversed and this 10 of Pentacles, which is telling me that you likely won't be disappointed. Another position somewhere else I applied. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so Spirit is saying that you won't be disappointed here. And yeah, this is not a yes. This is not a no. This is one of those questions where I can't give you a solid yes or no, which drives me bananas, as I'm sure it does you. But it's just the way things are. But Spirit is saying that you're absolutely qualified for it, 100%, babes. And so all my eggs aren't in that basket. Gotcha. That with this 10 of Pentacles, that's what I was feeling. I'm like, there's one of two things going on here. Either you're not going to get this position, but you will find something else that's going to really, like, but it won't matter because you're going to find something else. Or you are going to get this position and it's just a matter of they haven't seen the application yet. So either way, you're in a good place. I do think you're in a good place. You know how I feel about this card. I'm sure I've told you my story thousands of times. Pull a card for myself every day for 7 years, and I've only pulled the Ten of Pentacles upright one time. And that day, I was asked to ordain a wedding. So, very powerful card. And especially when we're talking about work, Pentacles. Like, good career. There's a great career on the horizon for you, whether it be this or that other job that you applied to. I see something great on the horizon for you. So yeah, the answer is not yes. It is not no. I don't think they've seen it yet. It's Thursday too. But regardless, you won't be upset, and you will find something that's great for you. It might lead to something else. Absolutely, girl. Absolutely. I was kind of wondering the same thing too. I'm like, I'm wondering about this other job. Thank you very much, Jessica. Do you see me getting the state job? Let's see. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. 1 second. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jessica get the state job? We have Page of Cups reversed, Death, King of Cups, the Fool, and Two of Cups. Yeah, that's an immediate yes from me. Yeah, he will. That's what I think it is. So that's what I think the last reading was. Is I still don't think they've looked at your app, but I also feel like you may even get an interview for that last job that we read about, and you might even get the job, but you're for sure gonna get this. Holy moly guacamole. You haven't even applied, have you? Spirit, if you haven't even applied, this is Spirit saying apply like right now, as soon as you can, because this is such a good effing fit for you. This would be so transformative in your life. This is that Ten of Pentacles. this is the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, I know I'm holding the Death card right now, but that's what that Ten of Pentacles, I think, was saying. And that Three of Swords reverse is there's something better out there, something more transformative, something that is going to, I know it's a state job, but any job can be emotionally fulfilling. A lot of people complain about state and government jobs, but Spirit is saying not only that this would be an emotionally fulfilling job for you, but a very harmonious job for you. Yeah, the state job is still open, so they won't review applications until the listing closes next week. It pays very well. That's that Ten of Pentacles. That's that Ten of Pentacles. And Spirit is saying, go forth, little doodle. Go forth, my girl, the Fool. Apply. You have to apply because you don't have to do anything, but Spirit's imploring you to apply because this is such a good fit for you. This is like something, this is a job. I mean, you're doing, I'm assuming you're doing, you know, your work, your job as a social worker. Are you still doing, you're still a social worker, right? You're still doing social work. And the last one I really wanted that pays way more, close to 200K, I didn't get, but this job is like one step below. Girl, wow. Wow. What do you do again? So I'd love to move up to that other position after time. Totally. Totally. That's what's up, girl. That's why Spirit's saying go forth. This is the beginning of something amazing. The only card I need some clarity on is this Page of Cups reversed. Lots of cups here and no pentacles, but that's okay. Are you, this is definitely next, so this is definitely like next level, as you mentioned, like this would be like next level career move for you. You'd be making hella bank. With this Page of Cups reversed is the only bad thing that I'm seeing, but it's not bad. It totally makes sense, and I see it all the time with people with new jobs. It's just feeling like a fish out of water, feeling a little insecure. Literally, the Page of Cups, we have the fish jumping into his cup. When it's reversed, it's kind of feeling like the newbie, which you will be. Not Felicia, because I know she's newbie. That's her username. But, you know, you'll be, even though it's the same job that you're doing, you'd be in a new environment, and at first you might feel a little insecure, but not for long. I'm so curious. What do you do again? Is it social work, or are you a therapist? Do you do MFA? I'm asking, and you don't have to tell me if you prefer not to tell me, I understand, but I feel like your career trajectory is similar to mine. I want to start grad school soon. I want to get my MFA. I think I told you my best friend is a licensed social worker, but she does therapy. She from home remotely. She's loving what she's doing. It's social work. The position is running state programs for vocational rehabilitation. Right on. Wow. God's work. Honestly, God's work. Those are the cups, baby. Those are the cups. That's why it's emotionally fulfilling. Yeah, I have lots of clients that work for government jobs, state jobs, and they're like, but what you're doing and the pay, especially that Ten of Pentacles, girl, right on. You're an inspiration to me, really. Yeah. I'm working on my master's in marriage and family therapy. So you're working on your MFA. Would you suggest that I work in licensed social work before I do that? Because I was going to go this route. I was going to take a class this summer. I was going to just take Intro to Psych at CCSF across the street, the community college in San Francisco, in order to get my letter of rec. I mean, I majored in English, but I graduated with honors from Berkeley. That's not anything, that's not nothing. But I do need to rehearse my psychology a little bit. Even though I initially was majoring in psychology and then I switched my second year. So I've taken tons of psychology classes, but it was just many moons ago, so I've got to rehash. But I don't really know which direction to go, but I'm sure it's a journey. I'm going to ask ChatGPT and figure out how to do it. I'm sure there's many ways of doing it. Yeah, Berkeley is big time, and the sad thing is I never really did anything with it. It's kind of just this great resume candy that I don't use. And I love what I do, you know, being independent, but I've got to grow in some way. I'll likely never stop using tarot, and I actually want to incorporate tarot into my business. And also Reddit. Each field has its niche. Yeah. And that's the other thing is I was art modeling for a class, a private drawing group of older women, and they were like all in their 60s, like retired women. And one was a retired therapist. And she asked me if I did anything else, and I told her, yeah, I do. I read tarot professionally. And I'm normally hesitant to tell certain people unless I get a vibe from them. And I was hesitant to tell her, but I told her, and she was like, that is so cool. I'm a former therapist, and I used to use oracle cards in my practice. Have you ever thought about being a therapist? Because it sounds like your job is kind of like therapy without the credentials. I was like, I think about it all the time. She was like, I would really suggest incorporating tarot into your practice. Yes. Yeah, she didn't use tarot. She used oracle cards in between to just kind of guide and be like, well, let's pick this and see what wisdom is there. You know, not using it as fate or anything like that, but as I always say, it is a healing modality. It's not. I'm not. There's no way to predict the future. It's just current energies. And yeah, oracle cards always have wisdom, and yeah, there's so many different ways of doing it. So okay, I'll check out Reddit. I'm definitely gonna ask my girl. I'm like really, ChatGPT is awesome, wealth of information. Yeah, Sonia's been helping me, my friend. She told me how she went about doing it. I'm definitely gonna have to take out loans to pay for it, but something I'm willing to do because I just really want to do it. So we might both be MFAs, girl. I mean, you'll get there way faster than me, but yeah, you. I think I've told you do what I would love to do, but yeah, combining my crafts, absolutely. I mean, because I love doing this. Like, I honestly just really love reading tarot for people. I genuinely have a deep fondness for it. Like, I was not having the best day, and my mood is like is always improved when I go online and I see my people and get to at least, even if the readings aren't always positive, like I know I brought some clarity and just I really love what I do. And I had my first therapy appointment today. I've been waiting for a therapist. I've been on a list for like 3 years now because insurance just sucks. But I finally got a therapist. I met with her today for the first time. She's really sweet. And we'll be meeting every Thursday. I'm so happy. And I even told her, I'm like, you're doing what I want to do. So if you could help guide me, that'd be cool too. Yeah. So, well, thank you so much. Yeah. And the older I get, the more it's like hammering into me. Like I really want to do this. The other choice would be teaching English. Ideally at like a community college, in which case I need my master's in English. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's something I'd love to do. Very fulfilling and particularly advantageous, and and much needed. Much needed. God's work, baby. God's work. Well, thank you again, Miss Jessica. I appreciate you always. You're gonna do great, and you have a wonderful time in the Smoky Mountains. My goodness. Yeah, if you can take a side trip to Dollywood, I highly recommend it. I've never been, but I've always wanted to. Thank you so much again, love. All right, so it looks like, are we? Yeah, it looks like we're all caught up with donations. So you are very welcome, Jessica. You are so welcome. So I'm going to do a last call for all donations. You too, love. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, and you enjoy your trip tomorrow, of course. Yeah, apply for that job. Spirit is like imploring you. Like that's a great opportunity. And I don't know where you find most of your listings. Is it like, do you go on LinkedIn, or, well, I'll you don't have to tell me all your stuff. I just had a flashback to when you do games to win a free reading. Yes. Remember those days? Yeah. Sometimes I think about doing like one night a week where we do games, but it just got to the point where I was looking at how many I was giving a lot of free readings, and I'd been on here for so long, and I was like, you know what? If I walked into a tarot store, I wouldn't say, "Hey, give me a free reading." They would, or if I walked into McDonald's and asked for a free burger, they wouldn't give it to me. You know what I mean? And that's cheaper than a reading. So the way that I saw it was, I'm at a point where that my value is not free. You know what I mean? Um, and I feel like readers who have been on for at least 3 or 4 years need to stop doing that, because it happens in the modeling world too. People work for free, and John had a saying, "Don't give it away." And it's okay. It was okay for me to give it away at first because it helped build my channel, you know. But then I was like, like I feel like it's like lowering my value a little bit. Yeah. So like, I don't like when I see like readers with really low like channel subscriptions. I usually try and befriend them and become like a little bit of a mentor. Like, yeah, keep on giving free readings. Consistency is important. Even if you have slow nights, keep on going. You will like I have. I mean, how long have I been reading for you? You know, every night I have people come back that like Natalie, my Swedish friend. I remember reading for her maybe like a year ago. Like I've collected a motley crew of wonderful people, and yeah, I sometimes I want to do giveaways. Like I did a crystal giveaway back in last January. I want to do possibly another giveaway because I have so many crystals, and I know y'all want them. So maybe, oh, that's a great idea actually. Maybe I'll do a giveaway soon, like next month, where we do a raffle. Every time anyone makes a donation, I'll put your name in a bowl, and then we pick it at the end of the month, and whoever wins gets a crystal. I should do more than, I should do like 3 winners. That would be fun. That was a lot of fun. That I love. And I need to do another collab. I need to reach out to Bird because I love collabing with her. She's great. Um, yeah, no, you've been around for a while. It means a lot. Um, Yeah, it's crazy. Time goes by, huh? I started this channel and it was still COVID. Or, yeah, people were still wearing masks when I started the channel. It's crazy. Last call, everybody. Last call for any and all donations. I forgot to set my timer. So you've got a little bit of time if you do have a question tonight, because I won't be on tomorrow. Oh, wait. No, I will likely be on tomorrow, actually. I'll do my best. Um, yeah, I have a class early in the morning, and then I have Shabbat services in the evening. So I might be on actually in the afternoon. I'll do my best. But if you do have a question tonight, now is definitely the time to send it. I'm still full of beans, and happy to read for anyone who has a question. And I need to hydrate. I'm so thirsty. I developed a weird little addiction to Gatorade a while. First it was La Croix, then it was Gatorade, then it was whiskey. No, I'm just kidding. Then it was Gatorade. Now it's coconut water. I'm really weird. I don't like regular water. Last call, everyone, for any and all donations tonight. Thank you very, very much. It's interesting how readings go. Last time I read, I believe, was Monday night. And I swear every reading was like, yeah, it was super positive. I don't think I had one bad reading. And then there's some nights where it's just like, I'm sorry. But Jessica's reading was great. That last one was fantastic. Last call tonight. Last call for any and all donations. very much. And again, if you, like I had a client the other night who confidentiality was very important to them. If that is a case, or if you have a question and I'm not on tomorrow, or any, whatever the case may be, just send me a donation, your question. I can get back to you usually within 2 to 3 hours over Instagram or typed over email. But that also offers that level of discretion and privacy that a YouTube live stream just can't provide. Last call tonight, last call for any and all donations. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a wonderful night. Thank you all so much. Last call, last call. Got another 30 seconds. So if you want a reading, just send it in and we can commence. Otherwise, I'll see y'all later. But let me know. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations. All right. Looks like everyone is happy and taken care of tonight. Thank you all so very much. Much love and light to you, and I will do my best to see you tomorrow. If I see you tomorrow, I'll actually be on a lot earlier than I normally go on. It would probably be around 2 o'clock, like afternoon time, which is very unlike me, but I will do my best. Much love and light to you. Good night. Take care. Be well, and I will see you soon.